All right, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach this 100% truth. Peace and salutation to the Lord's elect that be in the house of David. All right, today is August the 7th, year 2025. All right, the hopeful year of our deliverance. Let's see. All right, now R represents the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the seed of our fathers. All right, the elect on this side is slotted for salvation. All right, 2 out of 3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that reside over here in America. All right, with the spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right, mystery Babylon. You know, you're gonna get put to death here. You're not leaving this place. All right, and you know, before that terrible day of the Lord comes, all right, we're gonna go through what's called Jacob's trouble. All right, a time like never was since it was a nation. All right, the worst time ever known to mankind, pretty much. All right, and that's when the Lord is gonna pretty much, all right, give Esau, the so-called white man, which is not white, he's red. All right, the green light. All right, to you know, go absolutely ape shit, ape shit crazy out here. All right, and 2/3 of our people gonna be victims. All right, you know, Esau gonna come down with that sword. All right, you know, it's gonna be a bloody time. So let me read a couple of scriptures and we'll see where we at with it, Lord willing to be edifying. All right, first scripture is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." That he represents the elect. All right, the Lord is gonna deliver 1/3 from this place. All right. Verse 8, it say, "For it shall come to pass, in that day shall, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shai, of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." All right, because we're in captivity right now. All right, a yoke upon the neck represents like slavery. All right, captivity. All right, and we're in our last captivity. All right, and after Jacob's trouble is over and World War III is done, all right, the Israelites will never be in captivity again. All right, ever. All right, all you nations, all right, are going into slavery. All right, following Jacob's slavery. All right, read this right quick in Revelation 12:12. It say, "Therefore, excuse me, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." All right, and that's Esau. All right, he's the devil the Bible speaks of. He's the wicked the Bible speaks of, the adversary. All right, the children of Satan on this earth. All right, it's Esau. He's the serpent man. All right, and he had but a short time. All right, and he's coming. All right, that devil is moving. I read an article yesterday. All right, it said like 80,000 people have joined up to have joined on to sign up to be a part of the ICE deportations. All right, so the sack on the Israelites, it's in full swing right now. All right, you know, they in high pursuit of the northern kingdom, but the southern kingdom will not, you know what I'm saying, escape this judgment. All right, because the Lord is bringing this. All right, this is Daniel chapter 12:1. It says, "And at that time, the time they're speaking of is Jacob's trouble, shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people." All right, Michael is the archangel under Yahweh Shai. All right, it's going to get that bad that Michael is going to stand up, but he's only standing up for the elect. All right, 2/3 of our people, they given over to the sword. All right, so again, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. All right, worst time ever known on earth. And at that time, thy people, the elect, the 1/3, shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. All right, you know, 2/3 of our people. All right, again, that 1/3, 2/3 thing goes down over here in America, but 2/3 of our people, all right, they ain't leaving this place. All right, you know, they weren't written in the book of life. All right, this is Daniel 12:10. "Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." So they let you know 2 out of 3 of our people are wicked. All right, you know, on this side, we consider them to be the house of Saul. All right, the Lord is coming back for the house of David. The house of Saul is going to be reborn through the house of David in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to take place on this earth. But they got to learn a death by pain on this side, all right? Okay. They were born in vain, but ultimately they're Israelites, you know, and they will receive the blessing. Just got to get it the second time around, all right? Yeah, Esau's getting ready to come down, all right, with that sword on Jacob. But to the elect, you know, don't even worry about it, all right? Whatever this devil does, just know Yahweh Shemawashah gave him the green light to do it. And through our fear, trust, and hope in Yahweh Shemawashah, we're saved, all right? No matter what we see before our eyes, we know, all right, Yahweh Shemawashah is controlling this whole thing. And if we are the elect, it's for our good, you know? No matter how uneasy or unsettling it might be in the moment. All right, at the end of the day, the Lord is he's trying us, all right? Second Ezra 2 and verse 26, it say, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. All right. Oh, excuse me. The Lord chose his servants in the heavens before the earth was even laid, all right? They're the first fruits, all right? The men, all right? They're the first spirits of their family lines, all right? You know what I'm saying? 2 27, be not weary, for when the day of trouble in heaven is cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. All right, the others goes into 2 out of 3 of our people as well. All right, they're going to be weeping and sorrowful and pissing and moaning, all right, because they ain't going to have nothing, all right? And it's going to be a sight to see, all right? The way you see these niggas moving around today, all right, living it up, following it up, all right, mirthing it up. All right, well, there really ain't a lot of mirth left right now, but these niggas will find some mirth out of nothing. You know how niggas do. All right, but when all that mirth is gone, all right, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see. Verse 28, it say the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. All right, and 2/3 of our people are considered heathen. All right, the scriptures tell us, when you get this truth, you go to preach, and if they receive you not, count them as a heathen. All right, count them to you as a heathen, man. All right, so if Israelites can receive, all right, this truth on the first and second, you know what I'm saying, time you done brought it to them, all right, you ain't got to do it no more, all right, count them as a heathen. All right, and 2/3 of our people are definitely heathen. They fan their hands at the man of the Lord, all right. It say, verse 29, my hands shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell, all right, meaning the grave, all right, meaning destruction. All right, the Lord is going to save his elect. He's going to save households, all right, like in the stead of Cornelius. All right, some individuals, what is they, GOGC? I think that's the name of they camp. They had something like a Cornelius challenge I seen the other day, you know what I'm saying? I seen Elder Matazakba video on it. I didn't get to watch it all the way yet. But some along the lines, I think these dudes offering $1,000 or something to debate. I'm not even sure what it is, but I know it has something to do with Cornelius. But Cornelius is an Israelite, all right. And Cornelius was saved, and his family was saved with him. All right, they got saved through him. All right, and that's the way the Lord can do it for a lot of us. All right, we have families, we have children. All right, women. All right, all of that, and we need Yahweh Shemawashah. All right. Let's see. Instead of Jeremiah. Read this one right quick, showing that all these nations is going into captivity, following our captivity. All right. Jeremiah 30 and 16, it reads, therefore all that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Let me see. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. All right, and that's these other nations. All right, starting with Esau, numero uno. All right, top dog. All right, Edom. All right, let's go to Psalms 83. All right, Psalms 83, starting at verse 1. It says, a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, all right? And they took our name away from us, all right? They gave us niggas, black Americans, blacks, Afro Americans, all that different madness, all right? Which those are two Edomites, all right? You know what I'm saying? African American, all right? Leo Scipios Africanus, all right? And Americos Vespucci, all right? Them are Edomites, all right? And they put them names on us and got you niggas still to this day running around calling yourselves black and all other madness under the sun, all right? But that's the delusion the Lord, all right, left you niggas in, all right? He left you niggas in utter darkness, all right? It's for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, all right? The tabernacles of Edom, these are the nations that came together to do this, and still to this day, all right, they do this. The tabernacles of Edom, all right, that's the so-called white folks today. Saying the Ishmaelites, that's the Arab nations, all right, Ishmael, all right, and it says of Moab, that's the Chinese man, all right, and the Hagarenes, it slips my mind what nation they go to right off the top. Then you got Jabal and Ammon. Ammon represents the Japanese, and Amalek, and Amalek is the Jewish man, all right, Amalek, he's the chief house of the wicked. All right, then it says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. All right, so those are the Hamites. So all these nations came together, all right, to destroy Jacob. And they're still in confederate to keep Jacob on the bottom now. All right, it's just that their time is up, all right, to keep Jacob down, all right. Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So we're seeing the end of Esau's world, all right, and rule and reign on this earth. All right, and we're coming into the beginning of Jacob's. All right, Esau gave you nations. All right, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give you a piece of the pie, so to speak, but he gave you a foot up on Israel. All right, he did that. All right, he makes sure, all right, that the nations are in a better position to prosper than the Israelites are. All right, he gave you that. But in the kingdom of heaven, all you nations going into slavery. All right, you're going to all serve slavery together. All right, Esau going to be the worst of the worst. All right, but you other nations, you're not going to get by for what you did to us, all right? You got a 1,000-year sentence, all right, to go through hell with that devil, all right? You know what I'm saying? The same way we had to go through hell to get to heaven, you devils going to go through hell to enjoy heaven, all right? That makes sense. They say, Ashur also is joined with them, they're hoping the children of Lot, say Lot. And the children of Lot is Ammon and Moab, all right, the incest babies. All right, but yeah, all these nations gotta pay for what they did to the Lord's people. They all gotta pay for putting their hands on the Lord's chosen. All right, the apple of the Lord's eye. All right, and we here to let them know about it. All right, you know what I'm saying? We ain't pulling no punches. We letting everybody know. All right, what your future entails. All right, and if you ain't an Israelite, it entails beatings, whippings, and slavery. All right. Sun up to sun down, all right, a long time, all right, you know what I'm saying? So this was just something quick and to the point, all right. Lord willing, it was edifying, flowed together, and made sense. All honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect that be in the house of David, Kwame Yasharala, and Bible Ball, Shalom. And also, if I didn't say, you know what I'm saying, before World War III goes down, all right, also understand and know the implementation of the RFID microchip has to be in play, all right, you know what I'm saying, that's the mark of the beast, all right, and none of this ultimate destruction can take place until that is in play, all right, the MOT to the B, which is the RFID microchip. Shalom.